speaking to a Swatini family. My name is Nombusi Mthethwa and I am your host. Today we are in Manzini Club at an epilepsy awareness event hosted by Epilepsy Organization. Take a journey with me as we walk and enjoy this beautiful event hosted by Epilepsy Organization as we learn more about what epilepsy is and how we can help those with epilepsy. The Epilepsy Fun Day event was a success. We had a walk through town trying to get awareness of epilepsy. We also sat down with the director of Epilepsy Foundation, Babe Abraham Jalinjali. We got to know more about what epilepsy is, what causes epilepsy, and how to help one with epilepsy. So let's just dive into the conversation with Babe and Jalinjali.
My name is Abraham Jalinjali. I am the Director of Operations at Swatini Epilepsy Organization.
Okay, so when was the Epilepsy Organization founded?
Well, the Swatini Epilepsy Organization was established in the year 2003, but was formally incorporated under the Swaziland Companies Act of 2009 in the year 2010.
Okay, why was it started?
Well, just to give you a bit of background,
Okay.
In Eswatini, epilepsy was never understood the way it should be. It was understood to be connected with witchcraft, to be, something, a taboo in the family. And so then it so happened that one Mr. Musomun Mahlalela, who unfortunately passed on during the COVID era, was diagnosed with epilepsy medically. And then he went through a number of operations, some of them outside the country, and then he survived. So when he came back, he joined hands with His Royal Highness Prince Banzile, who is the patron, and he devoted his life to fighting epilepsy in all ends.
Okay.
That's when it was established. And then he started going around schools, telling people about epilepsy. At that time, it was not easy to really accept epilepsy the way it should be. And just to show how much work went into that, statistics in the Ministry of Health under the HIMS 2016 show that by 2003 there were 3,200 people who were on anti-epilepsy drugs. But by 2016 there were over 21,000. And between 2010 and 2016 there was an 80% increase, which means that awareness was so effective.
Okay. So can you go into more detail and tell us what exactly is epilepsy? Because I feel like there's a misconception of how we think or what we think epilepsy is. So can you please just explain that? What is epilepsy?
Well, epilepsy is a neurological condition. Let me explain here.
Okay.
Some people think epilepsy is a mental health issue. It is not. It is a neurological condition, which means it's about the brain and the nervous system that operates in the brain area, not the mind, but the brain, which is the physical substance, So the reason why some people with epilepsy graduate to mental cases, psychosis, and so forth is because it is not treated. When it is not treated as a brain disorder, then it can graduate to that level. So epilepsy is a neurological disorder whereby the nerves in the mind and sometimes in the spine, running down through the backbone, are sometimes disturbed, but mainly it's in the brain, whereby, the brain of a person is constructed in a way that you receive messages and they have to go through. For you to process that information, it has to go through certain channels, which are within that nervous area. Now, if you happen to, if that information is not able to pass through, there is that time where there is a blockage, and during that blockage, it's when the seizure occurs, and you might fall down. You might have, those we call them fits sometimes, but sometimes you don't fall. Some people have epilepsy, but we can't easily, identify them, because sometimes you sit with someone, all of a sudden it's quiet, facing one direction, not moving or doing anything. That could be a seizure. And during that time, maybe let's say it's 30 seconds or so. If the person was talking to you like, are we going to? Then he stops there. When he comes back, he will continue school, because to him he doesn't know that there was a stop somewhere. So then that's epilepsy. So many people, some children even at school, teachers are struggling. They say maybe this child is not serious or so, yet it's epilepsy sometimes. So basically that is how epilepsy occurs. But then for us to say you have epilepsy, you must have had a seizure, at least 2 seizures, in a space of time that is beyond 24 hours. Because you can fall, anyone can fall from anything. But if you fall in a certain way, there must be a pattern through which you have that seizure, and it must be the same pattern. Yes.
Okay. So, can I ask, what causes it? What causes epilepsy?
There are a number of causes to epilepsy. But anything that will tamper with the brain and touch on that nervous system can cause epilepsy. One, many children are born, I will say, with epilepsy. Because when they were born, the brain of a child is soft. And sometimes many parents, they give birth at home, and when the child is removed, somebody can hold the child, that fragile child that's soft, and then that pinch can cause, some kind of, the brain is so soft at that time, even the skull itself. So when you have that pinch, it can go to the veins in the brain. And the child will grow with it. You might not notice at that time. But as the child grows, because the blood is passing through, when the blood tries to pass through, as you grow, the blood starts to also pump stronger and stronger. And then, because there is that kind of a blockage, it may stop. And when it stops, it may cause epilepsy. Another reason, it can be generic in a family. Yes, but some experts, not all of them, some experts say it can live, in a family, in the blood system of the family, up to the 3rd generation.
Wow.
So after that, you might be free.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. And then other reasons are accidents. If you also have suffer from stroke, it might tend to be epilepsy at the end. So there are a number of reasons, but these are the main ones. Okay,
thank you. So how do we cause awareness about epilepsy?
We have a number of programs in the country, like the one we were having recently, which was in honor of Mother's Day. We had a family fun day. Yes, and we really thank you guys, for the amazing work you did there. Yes. We hold these events, people pay to come in. We organize them nicely so that people can have a good time, and then we raise awareness there as much as we also mobilize resources. But the main thing is to get the message out there in a space that is relaxed, that is not formal. Because if you call me, you say, you want to teach me something, people don't want to be taught naturally. Yes. But when we have fun and we learn better. We also have other programs like Epilepsy at Work program. We're experiencing a number of discrimination cases at workplace program. I think just last year alone, we intervened in more than 10 cases where persons with epilepsy, as soon as the employer knew that he has epilepsy, they were fired outright. Even if the person had not underperformed or what.
Not done anything wrong.
Yeah. Sometimes, you know, you have a maid in your house. She has helped you with your children. They're now 16 years. She has been taking care of them. You didn't know the maid had epilepsy. But the day you know, you fire them. Yeah. You know. So we have that Epilepsy at Workplace program, Epilepsy at Schools program. These are tailor-made programs. Okay. Yes. Epilepsy at School programs. Right now, we are developing a certain model which we are calling Epilepsy Smart Schools. What should be there in a school for us to say it is epilepsy smart? There must be, you know, things in place, put in place. There must be enough information. There must be a room when a person is having a seizure can be taken safely there, recover, and so forth. Okay. You know, we also do advocacy work with government ministries. For instance, right now, the Ministry of Education, there is a policy that says if a person with epilepsy or other neurological disorder is not able to write an exam, he feels, I cannot write an exam. Okay. Because you don't say somebody, you didn't have a seizure, so just write. Yeah. It's not like that. Sometimes there are a number of factors that may make me not to be able to write. So there is, once that person reports that I cannot write an exam, or even during the exam, I cannot finish the exam, they are given enough time. They may go and come back another day. So those are the policy engagements that we do just to better the lives of persons with epilepsy. And also then we also do the other things like road shows, and we target our people when we have these I would say campaigns. Okay. This one, which is a family fun day, we are targeting families, everyone, you know. Family. Yeah. Then we have a golf tournament where we target the CEOs. It's just coming in July 26. Okay. We'll be having it this year. We target the CEOs because we want to send a message to them, and it is during that one that even His Royal Highness the Prince, the patron, engages with them personally. You know, we want them also to be employed. We want them to be supported at the workplace. We want them to be promoted like anybody else, because epilepsy does not make you incapable. That's true. That's true.
Okay. So do you guys like send people out to, let me make an example for, like, we are an organization, a non-profit organization.
Yes.
We work with communities. So would you send someone out with us to go to a community to teach about epilepsy? How does that look like?
Well, that's actually we do go out. Okay. Yes, we do go out, and having partners like yourselves to go and do that together, bring other dimensions into it, will be a great thing. Okay. Yeah.
So, like, are the services for free, or do we have to pay to get such services?
Oh no, they are for free.
Okay.
Yes, we're an NGO. We don't charge for our services. Okay. But like when we go and teach corporate organizations, we normally say at least do something if you can, but we don't force them, because we believe they are corporate organizations, banks. Just this morning, today, our social welfare officer is at Montigny. Yes, because some of our patients there, because their bosses do not know, they tell them, climb the tree. You know, so I want to tell them, if somebody says he has epilepsy, that person cannot work close to a fire, not close to water, and not in any heights.
Heights.
Yes.
Okay. So, do you since you said you guys are an NGO, so for the treatment, is it free? If I have epilepsy and I come to your organization, do I get treatment for free or I have to pay?
Okay. We have been made to be a subsidiary kind of the Ministry of Health.
Okay.
Yes, so we work with the Ministry of Health. Even the resources such as the electroencephalogram machine, which is we call it EEG in short, that scans the brain. We sourced it from UK and we placed it in Babane Government Hospital. We got a specialist who came to train a psych nurse on how to operate it.
Okay.
And because they cannot interpret the results, because we don't have neurologists enough in the country, we have an arrangement with the UK tele-EEG company. We send it there to the doctors, then they interpret, they send back so that we know what type of epilepsy, what type of medication can be best for that. So we work with the Ministry of Health. Even the medication, it's part of the health care system in the country. Yes, yeah. But we are planning to have our own hospital soon. We are constructing an epilepsy center at Sikupe, at Mbaga. We've already purchased the land. It's about 4 hectares. We have fenced it through the funds that we get through these events. Yes, we were drilling water recently, and we've cast the foundation for the first phase.
Oh wow.
So hopefully if we can get support, we want it to be complete, at least the first phase, at least by next year. Where there will be fully fledged, support structures for anyone with epilepsy. Yes, including a clinic. We will want to have our own ambulances, because the ambulances that are here now, for the first thing, they ask us to get. But even if you get it now, when someone is having a seizure, especially the generalized seizure, which cannot stop, and you call for this ambulance, by the time you get there, the person should already be in ICU.
Wow.
But you are still trying to get the ambulance. And even the ambulance is not tailor-made for that. Because for a person with epilepsy, you need to have a certain space for that person. So those ambulances, they've got everything, machines, it's packed. So they are not really, conducive for persons with epilepsy.
Okay, no, thank you so much, Robbie. I really wish you guys all the best in terms of getting all the support into making this hospital or, a dream come true. So, because I feel like it's a need. We need to have such facilities that cater for people with epilepsy, just them. Even the ambulance, I feel like it's a good idea. I just hope everything goes into place. So what are the different types of epilepsy that someone can be diagnosed with?
Well, there are 2 main ones. I'll focus on those, yes, because they are easy to differentiate.
Okay.
Yes, the others you'll need more of medicinal knowledge too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is a generalized seizure, which is the one we normally see. In that one, like I said, this is a brain, disorder. Our whole body is controlled in the brain. Whatever, even this finger, there is a part in the brain that controls this finger. Even your toe, the left toe, whatever, there is a part that controls. So when your whole brain is affected by epilepsy, you'll have a generalized seizure, which means your whole body will experience that, will show the symptoms of the seizure. Vibrations, all those things, the whole body, everything, because the whole brain is experiencing that seizure at that time. Then the other one is called a focal seizure. if you see someone, whenever he experiences a seizure, it's always just this hand. It means it's only that part that is affected. If the person just moves the feet like this, it's only that part that is affected. If there are two, maybe it's this hand, and then once he checks in this hand, he will always do like scratch the eye. It means it's the part of the eye and the hand only. Okay. That's the focal seizure then, yeah. That's the main difference.
Wow, I didn't know that. So what would you like to say to the public about epilepsy? Like, what is something you'd like to share to the people about epilepsy?
The most important information is epilepsy can be treated. It is treatable. Okay. Even though we cannot say you will be treated to a point that you will not have epilepsy again. But treatment here is for control. But for you to have your seizures controlled, get diagnosed. Once you think or suspect any symptoms of epilepsy, go to the doctor, go to your clinic. Our health system in the country has a referral, kind of system whereby even if you go to your local clinic, they will refer you until you get to the hospital where you can get the full diagnosis and treatment. Yes. The earlier you start treatment, there are many prospects that you may outgrow it. But that doesn't mean you no longer have it, but you can outgrow it to a point that the doctor will say, now stop the medication. We have seen those cases. But the more seizures you have and you don't control them through anti-epilepsy drugs, you are throwing yourself closer to death. That's the reason persons with epilepsy their mortality rate is 3 times more than the normal persons. So it's better to get diagnosed. It's better to get treatment as early as possible.
Okay, just to sorry to cut you short. What are the main symptoms? Like, how can I tell if I have epilepsy besides the seizures? Is there anything else that can help me see that, okay, I might have epilepsy?
It's the seizure. It's only that they manifest in different forms.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So if whether the seizure is not the one that where you shake and but I mentioned earlier on that somebody may just be staring at one place and all of a sudden he connects to what he was doing before.
Okay.
Yeah. Just those things, take them serious.
Okay. So where are you located? How can a patient or someone who wants to know more about epilepsy find you?
Well, we are located within the Deputy Prime Minister's offices at Kwamile Street in Baban, just right inside, office number 7 and 8. You can also find us on social media. We have first our website page is www.epilepsy.org.sz. Okay. And then if you go to, say, like Facebook, we post almost every day new information, encouraging people, things like those.
Okay, no, thank you so much, Baron Janjal, for taking this time and just teaching us and helping us know more about epilepsy. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Babenjali, for coming in and sitting down with us and talking about epilepsy. As a country, we needed to hear such a conversation where we just unpack what epilepsy is because of all the misconceptions that we had about epilepsy and people with epilepsy. So thank you so much for teaching us and making us know how a person with epilepsy lives and deals with it. For more information, please do view the links on the screen just to search more and to know more about what epilepsy is. Thank you for watching. Till we meet again, this is me signing out.